Hi everyone, welcome, it's Ryan here. Today we're going to be carrying on from last week's video. Do you remember that video where we were using the laser and we were making a template? So we were using a laser engraver to make a woodworking template. There you go. It's on our piece of oak veneer at the moment. And what we're trying to achieve today are these curves. And let me show you what we've done so far. So they don't look particularly pretty at the moment. So that's the front. As you can see, we've got the rebate here for the drawer bottom. But what we've done here is we've drawn on the pencil line on the front using the template. So we know how much meat we wanted to leave on. You know, we didn't want to go too far in because, you know, when you're jigsawing, sometimes the blade bends on you. So always, if you're cutting a curve or you're cutting out the meat to be able to router, allow a bit more than you think, because you can always do a few more passes with a router. So Sean, I'm not going to take credit for this. Sean did the work on this, and he simply did 2 lines with the plunge saw, so the track and the Makita plunge saw, and he's drawn all the lines in so he knows what to work with, and he's used the template to gauge the width. And he's plunged these lines, and he's just done these 2 cuts first initially. As you can see here, there's the remaining of the cuts. And then we had to cut out the remaining so you can see what he's got left. So it's just the offcut. So now we're going to use that template that I made in last week's video, and we're going to clamp it on to our piece, and I've got an example right there. We've clamped it on using the dog holes on the bench, using these clamps. They're quite handy, they are. I quite like the ratchet clamps actually, but we haven't got them out. But we're going to be using the trend router, the 18 volt, with a flush cutter in there. This is only a 1/4 inch router, so we're using a 1/4 inch cutter with a ball bearing up the top of the cutter or nearer to the shank. So that bearing there obviously runs off of this template. And we're just simply going to just keep on going over and over and over again with that bearing running against our template until all the meat is taken out. Simple. So I want to go over quickly why lasers are so amazing. If we had to do this freestyle, we'd have had to swing it with a router first. We'd have had to put a lot of work into making that template if we wanted it pristine. Whereas with the laser, you go open up your software, you literally just draw out your rectangle and you just create that radius within a minute. You plot it, you put your 6mm on there, and within 5 minutes of the laser doing its work, it's done. So if you are interested in what we're doing here, go back and watch that video first, because these are game changers for this sort of work. Any curve work, especially because curves are so hard to achieve. I'm not even going to bother setting up the Hoover on this just yet, because we've tried that already, haven't we, Sean? And what's it suck up? About 2 grains? Yeah. And about 6 trillion are left. So dust is going to go everywhere. Going to make sure Sean gets all his gear on first before we start. So dust is going to go everywhere. Going to make sure Sean gets all his gear on first before we start. So let's do that quickly. We've got this template near enough spot on, so it's flush. There is a very slight discrepancy between what Sean's cut with the saw and the template, so we've just equaled it out. It's not even a quarter, you could just about feel it, but we've equaled it, okay? And that's all we've had to do, and we've made the template correctly because we know we wanted 50mm margin all the way around, so we're just lining it up at the top of the side of the fascia. And there we go, just make sure it's nice and tight. It's as good as it can be. Oh, let's hope I don't mess this up. Pressure. Get a nice, it's going to be a little bit more difficult on this because it's quite thin, so we're going to have to go slow. There you go. I mean, it does pull it in. I could easily have gone through that in one pass. I'm sure I could have. But I don't really want to strain the router. Right, let's go for one more pass and see where we get. 2 passes, and I've actually got that nice there. I'm going to get my goggles on before I go any further because I forgot to put them on. It looks like it's just one more pass, so let's just see how this goes. Voila, uno piece done. And that is 1 piece done in Italian, I hope. Let's take these clamps off and see what we've got. That actually worked really well. And I only took 1 take. So, right, let's loosen these. I want to show you, just see with the finish. Because this was always a tricky one to work out how to do this, in my eyes, like what the best way of doing it was. And that's the shape that we wanted to go for. And the way it joins up there, it's perfect. Tiny bit of a step there, very fractional. Can you see? But it's so small, we'll be sanding that out. Next stage on these, we were going to assess it whether to sand these up and really hard, you know, like with a really smooth paper, get it down to like a P320 or even higher, and then oil it, because MDF is quite close to an oak colour. It always is. So if you're oiling in a clear colour, they basically near enough look the same. But because we're going dark, I don't know how that's going to look, and I don't know if it's going to look cheap and nasty. We're going to do a little test to see how that's going to turn out. Otherwise, we are going to have to edge this. So we're going to have to just do it all in 1 piece and edge it just like we have the top and the sides of the fascia. It's just a matter of just getting the iron in there and maybe a heat gun as well. We do have a heat gun, so we're just going to have to curve that round and see how it goes. But yeah, just wanted to share that with you because we are on it. We've got 4 fascias to do, 7 bits of machining left, 8 in total, and it's a perfect way to achieve these complicated designs really simply using a laser. After all, a laser is relatively inexpensive for what they can do for you. But yeah, I think that's it. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. We've got a membership, so if you want to join that, that really helps out. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Take it easy. Ciao for now.